Hi everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in, and I want to talk about the numbers reported by the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about January opposed to January, January 17 opposed to January 18. I'm going to talk about December of 17 opposed to January of 18. And then we're going to talk about months of inventory because that determines price, okay? And I'm going to break that down based on property type. So let's go ahead and have a look here. We look at it right now. January of 18, you had 1,818 sales. You had 1,500 in January of last year. Obviously, your market was stronger this January, up by almost 20%. Beautiful number, everybody. If you look at the active listings right now, they're almost the same, okay? Just a difference of a few hundred. But here's the number you always want to look at. So if we look at months of inventory, you have 3.8 months of inventory right now. So in other words, all I'm doing is taking this number, dividing this number into that, and that gives me this number, where last January had 4.8. So we're down by 25%. So your market is much stronger this January than it was last January. And your prices year over year were up by 16%. Now let's look at this. If we compare January to December, you'll notice that you had 1,800 sales, you had 2,000, so you were down by about 10% from December. And if we look at this again, our inventory is almost exactly the same. But here's the number you're looking at. So our inventory is up 3.8, where it was only 2.5 in December, which means we're up by 8.6%. Well, what does that all mean? Generally speaking, okay, January is always a little bit slower. First of all, a lot of agents are on holidays. They're not working as much. And let's face it, in January, are people really in the mood? Their bills are coming in from the holidays. There's a lot of holidays still going on. So January is probably going to be a little bit off. And then the market will start to pick up in February, March, and hopefully in April. And that's based on economics remaining the same. But look at this. If we look at your months of inventory by property type, you're detached, you have 8.6 months of inventory. That's a lot, okay? Townhouses 3, condo apartments 1.7. Now, why would this be? Well, this would be because Vancouver generally is unaffordable, so it's very expensive, and for people to get into the market, guess what they have to buy? And of course, this market here is suffering a little bit, especially the real high-end homes. So you look at it and you say, well, that means as an agent, you've got to change your skill set. You've got to change your dialogues, okay? Let me give you an idea what I mean. Let's say you go on a listing presentation, and let's say you're a detached property. Now, you have to look at your numbers in your geographical area so you understand what they are. And if you've got, say, 8 months of inventory, what does that mean? That means 1 out of 8 homes are going to sell every month. That's the number, right, with 8 months of inventory. So imagine sitting down with a seller. What you're going to say to the seller is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, thank you so much for having me over. My job is to assist you in making the decision that is best going to serve you. And right now in our marketplace, we have about 8 months of inventory. What that means is when we go to market, there's going to be about 1 of 8 homes, okay, detached properties in your price range that are going to sell. So what we need to do, and you always want to use inclusive, okay, dialogues. What we need to do, not what you need to do, not what I need to do, what we need to do is we need to decide when we go to market, who would be, say, our 7 or 8 or maybe 9 properties that would be our competitors. So if a buyer was going to go look at a house, and they're going out to look at properties, and yours might be one, who else are they going to look at? And then what do we need to do to make sure we're the one that's going to sell? Right? Maybe you want to take them out and you want to show them their competition. So remember, your job as a salesperson is to educate them with all the information they can get so they can make a better decision and hopefully they'll follow your recommendations. So I look at the market and say, I think this year in Vancouver, I think it's going to be relatively strong. I think it's going to be a decent year. It's not going to be like it was a couple years ago before the foreign buyer tax, right? There's certain economic things that could change the market this year. We don't know for sure what's going to happen. But what I know is no matter what is going on in the marketplace, people are buying and people are selling. And you just have to get out there and be able to do a presentation where they see value in you. So I'll talk to you next month with the market update at that time. But in the meantime, remember everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.